Hello dear students, today we are going to discuss our next grammar chapter, that is figures of speech. What is a figure of speech? A figure of speech is a phrase or word used in a non-literal sense for rhetoric or rich effect. It is an expression that is different from its literal meaning. My dear students, a figure of speech is a way of describing something or someone interestingly and vividly. The word or phrase may not mean exactly what they suggest, but they paint a clear picture in the mind of the reader or listener. A figure of speech can be in form of phrase or a single word. The figures of speech are also known as rhetoric figures. So, you can understand that figures of speech are used to make writing more interestingly. There are many types of figures of speech in the English language, but we are going to learn the most common types. So let's start with the first figure of speech, that is personification. My dear students, personification is giving human qualities to something that may not be human, or you can say that is not alive. For example, when you say the flowers nodded their head cheerfully, here you can understand that the flowers moved about in the wind, looking as if they are cheerful and happy. You are imagining that the flowers have human emotions. So you can understand personification is the figure of speech where we personify the non-living object as a living being. Next example, that kitchen knife will take a bite out of your hand if you don't handle it safely. Students, can a kitchen knife bite you? No. Here we present non-living thing knife as a living being. Now our next figure of speech is alliteration. So alliteration is a figure of speech in which two usually consecutive words begin with the same consonant sound but not always the same letter. The word does not always have to be right next to each other, but when you say or read them, the sound is repeated. So, what you have to focus? Sound. For example, four fabulous fish. Or you can say, go and gather the flowers on the grass. Alliteration helps us to make what we say or write more interestingly to listen to or read. Writers and poets use alliteration to make their writings memorable and fun to read. Now, come to our next figure of speech, that is simile. So, simile is a figure of speech in which two things are directly compared. We use the word like or as to make the comparison. For example, as dark as the night, as cool as the cucumber, eat like a horse, fought like cats and dogs. All these examples are the examples of simile. The beauty of a simile is that it helps us imagine clearly what the writer is trying to say. Poets and writers use similes to make their writing come alive. Now, we are going to discuss our next figure of speech, that is metaphor. My dear students, we use metaphors all the time. Suppose when you say your mummy, this house is a zoo. You doesn't mean that it is the place where animal lives. It just means that everyone in the house is as noisy as a bunch of animals would be. So, zoo is used here as metaphor for the house. My dear students, it's a great fun to use metaphors because they make what we say more colorful and people can understand what we are trying to tell them better. As life is a bed of roses. Here we directly compare life with the bed of roses. Now it's time to discuss analogy. An analogy is a way of comparison. It is when one idea, concept, or thing is compared to something else that is significantly different from the one. So, dear students, the purpose of an analogy is to better explain or expand the idea or concept by comparing it to something else that may be familiar to it and to the reader. The two things being compared may be completely dissimilar or unlike each other, which still helps the reader to understand something about their relationship. An analogy is used to make arguments, demonstrate ideas, and build connections through comparison. For example, he is as strong as an ox. So what we find here that the man's strength is here compared to the strength of an animal, suggesting he is very strong. Now it's time to discuss synonym and antonyms. So, a synonym is a word that means exactly the same or very nearly the same as another word in the same language. For example, close is a synonym of shut. And antonyms. And antonyms is a word that means the opposite of another word. For example, bad is an antonym of good. Now we are going to discuss affixes. An affix is added to the root of a word to change its meaning. An affix added to the front of a word is known as a prefix. One added to the back is known as a suffix. The four most common prefixes are dis, in, re, and un. And the four most common suffixes are ed, ing, ly, and es. So now you can understand an affix is a set of letters generally added to the beginning or end of a root word to modify its meaning. The root is the portion of the word that remains when all prefixes and suffixes have been removed. Typically, they can stand alone. For example, untouchable. Here, when we remove prefix and suffix, the root word touch is remained. Another example, unacceptable. Here you can see that we use prefix un and suffix able. And when we will remove prefix and suffix, we will get our root word accept. Now at last, I hope the topic is clear to you all. Thank you and goodbye.